Welcome, everyone, to another survival game guide episode in our Medieval Dynasty series. So, today we're going to be covering everything farming. You can see that it is springtime, it's green, it's lovely, a great time for planting, yes? So, if you've reached this stage of the game, you might have dabbled a little bit in farming, but there might be perhaps a few things that are maybe a little bit confusing about the process. So we'll kind of go over those steps today just to make sure that, when you get your farm ready to go, you're ready to go. So to start off, we're going to need a few tools. I have some on me, sort of, but they're close to dying, so we'll breaking, I should say. So we will go ahead and make some fresh tools. In particular, you're going to need a hoe and a bag of some sort. All I have is just the wooden hoe and the simple bag unlocked currently, so I'm just going to make two of these guys. To make our wooden hoe, we'll need a log and 5 sticks. And to make our simple bag, we're going to need 3 leather. So we'll just dip into our little supply chest here and get what we need. Excellent. I'm glad that I have this available. Otherwise, that would be super awkward. All right, so we'll go ahead and craft these guys just to have them on hand because, like I said, mine are about to break, very close. And we'll just craft that too. Excellent. There are obviously better bags that you can make that have better durability, which is super nice when you're planting, really big fields and you don't want to have to keep, running back and forth to make some more bags. So, once you have the sowing hut unlocked, that is where you go to make those bags. And obviously you can buy them as well. But if you want to, save a little bit of money, you can make better bags at your sewing hut. But I don't have that yet, so sad times for me. So we're over here at our little beginner farm here. As you can see, I got a few crops in before winter came and ruined everything. So we're working on slowly putting our farm together. So the first step here, after you make well, I should say the second step, because the first is, make your tools. You need those. Is to figure out, kind of where you want to farm and make your plots and all that. I'm kind of going with this area a little bit because it's nice and big and, I can expand my field as needed going on. And I'm probably going to go all the way down there and be back a little bit. We'll see. I'm just going to play around with it a little bit. But we're going to put in a new field today. I'm a little worried about that rock. I might have to do a little dancing around it. But, we'll give it a go. So our step one is, once we've chosen, a nice area where we want to put our farm, we got to make the plots. So to start off with that, we'll just go to buildings. And we're going to go to farming. And you have 2 choices here. You have a field or you have an orchard. We'll go over the orchard later. Right now, we're just going to put in the field, which is essentially covers, your grains and your crops. So you're just going to click it down, and it has like this weird little grid system. Let's see if this yells at us. It does not. Huzzah. I'm going as far as my current level allows me to plant, which is right here. So we'll click that. There we go. And I will mention that as you progress through the chapters of the game, your fields are able to become larger. So you're not going to be stuck with just like these rows. You can make, honestly pretty big fields, which is great for the farmers out there who want to plant a lot of stuff. So now that we have our plot down, the next step is to, plow or till it. That is not my torch, thank you. And you can kind of see, if we go over here, you can see it says not grubbed up. This is when we bring out our hoe friend, which is this guy. There we go. So we'll just click that. We're going to grub it up. Looks great. And you do have to grub up the entire field before you can start on with the next step, essentially. And when you're done when all these little spike things, these little wooden spikes disappear. So we'll get to that. We got 1 more, 2 more, 1 more, 1 million more, something like that. Whew. All right, so our little plot here is grubbed up, unlike that one right there. And if we put our little thing here, we can see that the next step, huzzah, the farm shed. That's great. That's actually a brandish new kind of building that they recently released. So I haven't dabbled with that yet. Very excited to. But from what I understand, you need that for your farmers now. It's kind of replaced some of the barn, which is that guy over there. But anyway, I'll do a video on that later. But now that you can see that we need to fertilize our field, that's the next step. So you will need your bag for that, which we have right here, a little common simple bag. And hello over there, to get the fertilizer, we'll just click on field because we're working on a field, right? We'll find the fertilizer, which is right here, and we will click on it, and we're going to start to fertilize the fields by, again, clicking on the field. Lovely, right? So when it comes to fertilizer, you can sometimes find it in like bags and barrels and in campsites and abandoned carts and whatnot, which is awesome. But you can also make it, and you're gonna need either manure from pigs, or you can again you can buy that too, or your food rot. If your food rots, you can turn that into fertilizer as well. So that's honestly a if you end up having too much. Huzzah! If you have too much food rot, weighing down your food chest in your food storage place, that's just a great way to get rid of that and have a lot of fertilizer. And you craft the fertilizer from the manure or rot inside your barn over there, that building that I'm looking at over there. And I'll run over there at some point to show you. But we have fertilized our field. Looks great. Looks lovely. Don't step in it, right? But we're not done just yet. Now we have to, kind of plow it, stir up the mud and all that. So again, we're going to take out our wooden hoe and we're just going to go to town and we are going to hit this guy until it's all nice and plowed up and stirred in so that our soil is nice and ready to, promote some growth here. It takes a while, obviously. And I will mention, actually, like, smaller fields and farms are great on your own. But if you're planning on having a big farm, you're definitely going to want to invest in some farmers because, as you can tell, this process takes a little bit. And if you got really big fields, then, that's going to be like an all-day kind of thing, really. And you might miss the opportunity to, plant or harvest the things that you want to do in a given season, depending on, how long your seasons are. Mine's on vanilla, but if you extend your season through the customization options, then maybe you'll have a little bit more time. But farmer workers, they're great. Okay, so now that we have mixed it in, it is time to finally sow our field here. And again, we're going to take out the bag. And to do this, a very simple process. We're going to go back to field. We're going to find what we want to plant, and I am going to make this some oat. I want my grains. So we'll choose the oat, and we're just going to sow it down. Now, I don't think I have enough of these seeds to plant the full field just yet. Mostly because these are seeds that I found in bags. I didn't buy these because I am poor as poor can be. I don't even have a full coin on me because those dreaded taxes came, spring season and all that. So, we're just going to plant what we can, which I think is right about there, empty. So, not a bad amount, but we'll get there. Right? So our seeds are now down, which is great. And, those will grow with time. Now, there are a few things to know about, sowing and whatnot, and that is you can't always sow everything. Each crop and grain kind of like has their preferred seasons, which is, realistic. So if you're not sure, which goes and where and whatnot, you can quickly, honestly, just kind of look at your inventory. And I don't think I have any more seeds on me in here. I'll have to go to the my storage little place where I got some stuff. But on it, when you click a certain seed, it'll tell you, hey, plant me in spring or autumn or whatever. And then it'll also tell you when it is harvestable as well, which is great. While I'm in here, actually, I'll just quick show you. This is where you're going to go to make your fertilizer. As you can see here, you need 2 manure to make a bag of fertilizer, or 10 rot. So it takes a little bit more rot than manure. And if you get a pig shed, their primary task is to make a lot of manure. So once you start getting quite a few pigs, you're going to be swimming manure. You're going to have more fertilizer than you know what to do with. Okay, so here we go, our carrot seed. So yes, so it says right here you can plant it in spring or winter. So as long as you have that in the right season, and you make your plans accordingly, you can plant what you need to when you want to, and then all that. So that's awesome. So that's about it for our field. The only other thing that I'll quickly mention is that it is also helpful to name your fields. Um, it's the good thing about your workers is that once you assign them to a field and there's like already an existing seed or crop on there, they know automatically what to plant there in the future. So as long as you're not changing things all the time, like if you're using the same plot for the same crop, like this whole, well, we'll just with this since we did it. This is only going to be like my oat line, for example. Like I might expand it, but like this is just oat, right? So the farmers will come and they'll plant the oat down here, and they won't plant anything else, which is lovely. But if you look over here, for example, this one doesn't have a name because I haven't put anything in it. And if this was to, become harvested, I haven't named it either, just, field 3. Whereas over here, I have named this field 1, but you'll see that I put wheat down. And that for me is just super helpful because I just know, hey, this is where I want to plant wheat. The workers, obviously, they don't care about the actual naming. As long as you put the crop in, they'll just do it. But for you personally, it might be helpful to write the custom name for each field. And if you want to do that, the best way to do so is to go in your little management menu. We're going to click on the field symbol. And as you can see here, we just did oat. So we'll put this here. And you can see right here, custom name. So we'll tap H. And I'll just put oat down. And boom, there we go. And we can see right here, oat. Lovely. Again, you don't have to do that. I just find it helpful for myself because eventually, I like to farm, so I have like a lot of plots, and it's just helpful for me to kind of keep track of everything, know where everything is, and all that. So that's just a little thing that can potentially help you. Now for our orchard, we're just going to go over here. I don't have an area just yet set out for my orchards. I just kind of have been playing around with putting some orchards down by these houses just to pretty them up a little bit. So I have put a little plum tree here just because, it just looks pretty, right? It's going to look pretty when it grows. So if you guys are, interested in making an orchard, which is great to make, to grow fruits for one, but also eventually turn those fruits into different kinds of alcoholic beverages or juices and all that. If you want a tavern, you're going to need an orchard. So an orchard follows more or less a similar process, but it's, in my opinion, a little bit easier because there are fewer steps. So to make an orchard, we'll just put one right here because that'll make sense. We're going to go back to our farming, but instead of clicking field, we're going to go to the orchard, and we'll just do one little plot right there. Yeah, that's fine. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grub it up. There we go. Now, the great thing about this is that it does not require fertilizer or anything. Once you hit that, you could just put the seed right in of whatever fruit tree that you are putting in. Now, I personally have some pear, or what was it that I found? Plum, that was it. Some plum trees that I, again, found in a bag. I did not buy these because you will come to find that fruit seeds are way expensive. They're going for like, I don't even know, I think the last I looked at it was like 100 some coin plus. So, they're on the more expensive side compared to crop seeds. So, if you could find a few in bags and stuff, that'll save you a lot of money, which is, lovely. Okay, so we have our plum seedling. We're going to put it down, and boom, that's it. That's all we have to do. It's done. Magic. Now, obviously, the orchard, being that they are fruit trees, they take a little bit longer to grow. You're going to have to wait, a few seasons, a few years until they are mature. But the great thing about them is that once they are mature, they, grow that fruit every year. So like every, spring or summer, whatever it is, they will always have that fruit for you. So that's, amazing. You just got to do it once, wait, be a little patient, and then boom, you got something every year. Don't have to, keep spending money on it. It's there for you, which is, amazing. So other than that, that's basically really just the basics of farming. I will be making another video a little bit more that goes a little bit more in depth on the different crops and which ones maybe you might want to focus on if you're not looking at being like, a farmer full time. Something that's a little bit more like, hey, this, if you want to do just a little bit farming, this is maybe where you should pay attention to. So look for that probably in the next video. But otherwise, I hope you guys found this helpful. And if you have, any other questions or anything like that about farming or anything else really, do let me know in the comments. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching, guys. Keep on surviving and keep thriving.